Though it has certified meme status in modern times, it can't be denied that at the time of its release, Shrek was a massive cultural phenomenon. In some ways, a hit of the cultural reset button. Its impact on animation, storytelling, and the film industry as a whole can still be felt today. But how did a relatively unknown, weird, fire-breathing ogre from a 30-page children's book published in 1990 transform into one of the most iconic characters and influential animated films of all time? Let's find out. William Steig's children's book titled Shrek introduced a horrible, green-skinned, fire-breathing, indestructible monster who delighted in terrifying and causing misery to those around him. His parents decided that he must be sent out in the world to do his share of damage, and they quite literally kicked him out of their swamp. I found Steig's own description of his version of Shrek quite funny. His mother was ugly and his father was ugly, but Shrek was uglier than the two of them put together. By the time he toddled, Shrek could spit flame a full 99 yards and vent smoke from either ear. With just a look, he cowed the reptiles in the swamp. Any snake dumb enough to bite him instantly got convulsions and died. The story followed Shrek as he left home, encounters a witch who tells him his fortune, which forms the foundation of the plot that may seem familiar. He will be taken by a donkey to a castle where he'll fight a knight and marry a princess who's even more ugly than he is, living horribly ever after. While the book's premise loosely resembles the film, the adaptation would take the character in a radically different direction. So how did they get from this original story to the Shrek we know today? Well, it all started when DreamWorks acquired the rights to Shrek in the mid-1990s, and it quickly became a side project under Jeffrey Katzenberg. The studio had just been founded by Katzenberg, Steven Spielberg, and David Geffen following Katzenberg's highly publicized exit from Disney. After failing to secure promotion at Disney, Katzenberg left, and Shrek became part of his mission to challenge the studio that had defined animation for decades. For quite some time, the Shrek project struggled to find its identity. Writers and directors came and went, and Katzenberg's vision for an irreverent fairy tale proved difficult to nail down. My favourite story regarding the production of Shrek was that the project was internally known as the Gulag, a place where DreamWorks sent animators who struggled on The Prince of Egypt, their flagship project at the time. Employees referred to it as getting Shreked. So in many ways, Shrek has had meme status since almost day one. There were constant internal struggles over the direction of the film, with original ideas being much closer to the original story by Steig, and it ultimately became a revolving door of directors, writers, animators, and actors, as nothing they came up with looked good. The initial animations used a live-action/CG hybrid, motion-captured characters, and it apparently just looked terrible, according to Katzenberg. Eventually, director Andrew Adamson stepped in and fought to let the animators and the storyboard artists shape the film's comedic tone in their own vision, and encouraged them to go further away from the original source material. The original voice of Shrek, Chris Farley, was involved in early versions of the film, with a very different take versus the now familiar version we see today, bringing a wild energy to the recording.
With a question.
Why are you asking questions I don't want to answer?
Why are you blocking?
I'm not blocking.
Then why do you have problems expressing your wants?
I don't. I want you to shut up. See? No problem.
You're just displacing your anger.
Believe me, it's properly placed.
You're really mad at whoever did this to you.
No one did anything to me.
Yes. Someone hurt you so bad. Someone hurt you many years ago.
Leave my parents out of this!
Sadly, he passed away before completing the recording of his lines. However, this led to Saturday Night Live alum Mike Myers taking over the role. Initially, Myers recorded Shrek's dialogue in his natural voice, but after seeing an early cut, he insisted on re-recording the entire film with the now iconic accent.
Oh, layers! Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Which, as a Scotsman, is far from authentic, but it's hilarious, and I think it fits the character perfectly. On the theme of fitting characters perfectly, Eddie Murphy's portrayal of Donkey is clearly another defining element.
Oh, you both have layers. Huh. You know, not everybody likes onions. Cake! Everybody loves cakes. Cakes have layers.
Much of the dialogue, and in some cases complete scenes, were created based on his improvisational comedy and lines that he ad-libbed. With a final voice cast that also included Cameron Diaz and John Lithgow, the pieces were in place for something groundbreaking. Unheard of at the time, Shrek also subverted the Disney fairy tale formula. Instead of idealized heroes and villains, and princesses and fairies, Shrek has an anti-hero, A crude, selfish ogre who didn't aspire to be a knight in shining armor. No longer was there a story framed around a fragile, gracious, beautiful princess, with the antagonist a mean, ugly, brash man. The contrast of the beautiful and the ugly with the fairy tale conventions of the happily ever after that were in every single Disney film, quite the opposite. The film actively mocked these fairy tale tropes. Shrek quite literally wipes his butt with a page of a typical Disney-style fairy tale book. It's the first scene of the film, and it really just sets the tone for the entire story to come. And they develop his character. He lives carefree in his swamp, brushing his teeth with slime, showering with mud, farting, and being all around disgusting. He makes keep out and beware of the ogre signs, and we develop somewhat of an emotional connection to him. He believes himself that he'll be forever alone, that he's not suitable for friends or romantic partners, but in many ways that makes him a lot more relatable than typical Disney princess. And it makes us so much more invested in the character. For an even more direct contrast with the Disney formula, look at the character Fiona. How different is she to a typical Disney princess? She does begin her story as a damsel in distress that needs saving by a brave knight and has these fantasies of being saved by Prince Charming. But a completely different side to her is slowly revealed, and she's shown to be perfectly capable of taking care of herself. Shrek also ushered in a new era of animated movies filled with pop culture references and satirical humour. Whether it's Princess Fiona involved in a classic reference to The Matrix in those slow motion fight scenes, or Shrek doing a WWE style wrestling match, it's just completely full of references. And of course, you just have to mention the iconic music choices like All Star by Smash Mouth. Shrek just had this perfect blend of fantasy with modern culture in a way that no animated film had done before. And this approach inspired a number of other films that came afterwards. Look at films such as Madagascar, chock full of pop culture gags, celebrity voice actors, and using modern music, as just one example. This use of pop culture references or suggestive jokes was one of the major aspects that contributed to Shrek's ability to appeal to both kids and adults. But it went much deeper than that. While earlier animated films had included occasional jokes for older audiences, Shrek took it further, embedding humour that worked on multiple levels. It set a new precedent for animated movies as fully fledged family entertainment, not simply just children's programming. When Shrek premiered at Cannes in 2001, it was the first animated film to compete for the prestigious Palme d'Or in nearly 50 years. It won over critics and audiences alike, grossing over $484 million worldwide. Its impact went beyond storytelling and animation. It changed the industry itself. The Academy Award for Best Animated Feature was created in response to the rising prominence of non-Disney animated films. And Shrek became the first movie to win this award in 2002. This opened the door for more diverse animated projects to receive recognition on Hollywood's biggest stage. Beyond its success in the box office, Shrek helped solidify CGI as the dominant form of animation. While Toy Story pioneered computer animation, Shrek refined it, introducing advanced textures, lighting, and organic character movements that set new technical benchmarks. DreamWorks' choice to use CGI over traditional 2D animation helped cement the industry's shift away from hand-drawn films. Shrek's success established DreamWorks as a legitimate competitor to Disney and Pixar. The studio went on to create major franchises such as Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, and How to Train Your Dragon, all of which carried Shrek's DNA in their humour, animation style, and storytelling approach. With a budget of $60 million, Shrek launched a billion-dollar franchise. Shrek 2 was released and was fantastic. To some, it's even better than the first one. It added depth and more characters to the world, expanding Fiona's backstory and continuing that winning formula with many pop culture references, songs, and suggestive humour. Since then, a further 2 Shrek titles were released, to mixed or negative response.
Do the roar.
You know,
Do the roar. Do the roar.
roar.
I don't like it.
But also spin-offs such as Puss in Boots and Shrek 5, which is due to come out later this year. On the topic of Shrek 5, the recently released teaser came out to widespread disdain. They are trying to reflect that typical Shrek style by referencing current pop culture trends, but it feels off. Not only is the art style strange, as an aside, why did they change the style? That Shrek art style was so iconic. But I mean, it's literally Shrek looking at TikToks and memes of himself. I suppose they're trying to appeal to a new, younger generation to buy into this now old franchise, but I can't help but feel these choices are alienating the older generations who grew up with Shrek. A key characteristic of Shrek's success was the way it appealed to all ages, and I feel that they might have just ruined that. Today, Shrek remains a cultural touchstone. While it has become a meme in modern internet culture, its influence on animation, storytelling, and Hollywood as a whole cannot be denied. From revolutionizing CGI animation to redefining what animated films could be, Shrek ensured that animation would never be the same again. Love it or hate it, Shrek changed everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd love if you give the video a thumbs up. Want to hear more about award-winning animation? How about you check out my video on Aardman, the studio behind Wallace and Gromit, here.